such a great role model. I mean, such a successful businesswoman. I have a Denise Frost, who is the founder and president of the DF&M and Associate company since 1981. She moved from Washington, where she worked for two high-profile law firms. She has a great experience as legal recruiter, and she has great clients and great feedbacks. She is so successful, and Denise attended George Washington University, and she has worked with, the 500, 500 Fortune companies, and with the 25 top, high legal firms in the country, in the world. So, but let's share her story. And it's a real honor to have her here. Welcome, Denise. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Claudia. Thank you for having me.
It's a real pleasure. Tell us a little bit, how did you start such a wonderful company?
Well, it started so long ago, 30 plus years. I don't even, where did the time go? But I started working for a law firm in Washington, D.C., and Rogers & Wells, and they're based out of New York and D.C., and they have since merged with one of the London firms. But I started there and worked with some really great people and enjoyed working in the legal community because, you know, when you work with attorneys, you're dealing with such bright minds and, of course, the egos that go along with that.
Oh, is that hard to deal with?
Sometimes, you know, and being very young, yes. It was a little overwhelming.
Okay.
Now, I more or less can handle that.
Okay.
I think maturity has set in. But it was quite an experience working with such great people.
And tell us about your time when you were in college. How did you decide to go in the legal field?
Well, it was interesting. I started in school at a community college initially in D.C., and actually it was in Maryland. And then I think what it was just being at the right place at the right time, saw the opportunity in a law firm and pursued that, and then have been working in the legal field ever since. And, you know, working with different law firms, they're very different. They're a lot alike, but so different in many ways. And meeting so many great people, that's been kind of the icing on the cake, I guess.
Okay, Denise, tell us about the 500, Fortune companies you have worked with.
Yes, we also place people in the in-house corporate legal departments, and we work with them all over. We deal with the corporations that need attorneys and qualified legal people. We've worked with corporations that are outside of Texas also. So our expertise is just not in Texas. We have expanded outside of that.
Nationwide.
Nationwide, yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
And we had a conversation yesterday before the interview because we are proud to share the same floor in Addison. We're in the same Business Access Center, so it's
Yes.
a beautiful place to run a business. And Denise, about you mentioned you work with the 25 top companies in the world.
Yes, yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the law firms, it's just amazing. There's been so much movement in the legal community since 2009.
Why?
We've had, the economy has really had a profound effect on the business. Global international law firms were really affected. The smaller to mid-sized firms were fine, but the global corporations, because of the economy and what happened in terms of the corporate transactional work, there was none. There were no mergers, acquisitions, corporate governance was not doing anything. So it really affected these law firms.
Okay.
And so a lot of the firms that were affected, either, they're still surviving, but we've had a lot of mergers with firms going on, so that's kind of an interesting kind of situation.
Absolutely. Also. And tell us about your clients. What are you looking for when you're representing a good client?
Well, I look for a good firm that has a good reputation, that treats their employees with respect, because we do place attorneys and paralegals and secretaries, pretty much everything from the receptionist all the way up to the attorney. So we want to make sure that we make it a happy bond for both the client and the candidate. And of course, money, the benefits, we make sure that what the candidate is looking for, that the client is able to give.
What is the connection between technology and the ability to be multitask? Today is more important be full skill in technology, social media, or old-fashioned as before?
No,
not anymore.
Not anymore. No, we have to be on the cutting edge of technology, because if not, then you will not be able to achieve your goals. So the social media, Twitter, Facebook, all of that, LinkedIn, are very, very exceptional social media opportunities or avenues in which people should definitely take advantage of.
What is your opinion about today's place for women in the business world?
I think that women are becoming more and more assertive in their search for what they want to do in their careers. And but I think that we're still affected by that glass ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there for us. But it takes a lot of effort to get past that. So you shouldn't, as a woman, never give up and say you can't do that. Just keep on going, and you will achieve those goals.
Do you think shall we raise our girls different from before? Shall we teach them be stronger, or how you can have all what you want, including career, business, and family?
Very much so. I think that even this day and age, that I think the family part of it is still important, but not like it was, say, 20, 30 years ago.
You had to choose between family or career.
Exactly. But I think women understand that they really need to assess what they want to do. If they're in college, to kind of get an idea, what is it they want to do, and go towards those goals. But I think that more women are coming out of college with careers. And at some point, give it a few years or whatever, that the family issue certainly, would be a good balance for them.
What do you think about the breach of, race in the success of gender?
I think diversity is, a lot of the law firms work towards diversity. I see that quite a bit. But I still see, when I look at certain firms' websites, that there aren't as many women attorneys, even though they want diversity. So I think that the women, just need to establish, because they are coming out of law school and they are needing to work. They just have to concentrate, I think, on the grades. The grades are so important after law school. You have to compete with someone coming in at top 10% or whatever. So,
Denise, thank you so much for such a wonderful interview. On the personal side, what do you enjoy to read? What kind of music do you like? And how do you spend your free time? A little bit about your family, or how do you enjoy life, your personal time?
My husband and I, we like to travel.
Oh, where are you going?
We actually, we're going to New Orleans next week for Thanksgiving.
No.
We try and do vacations,
well deserved, yes.
Very important, very important.
Okay.
And I work out. I enjoy working out. There's a club that's down the street from where we are, and I've been a member there for, oh my goodness, over 10 years.
Okay.
And I enjoy that quite a bit.
Oh, fantastic. What kind of music do you like, or what do you like to read?
Oh, jazz. Jazz is my favorite.
Okay.
And then, of course, rock and roll, the oldies.
Okay.
There's a lot, there's so much good music and bad music out there. But I think jazz and some rock and roll would definitely keep me happy.
Denise, before saying thank you so much, and before at the end of this wonderful interview, I have plenty of questions in social media. One of these questions is mentoring. And what would you ask if you would mentor a professional in your office? Because sometimes I do have my business too, and we cannot afford, I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about the risk to mentor a young professional, because he's going to interfere with our goals of company. Sometimes you have to be really careful who do you mentor or welcome as an internship in your company. What would you advise to those young professionals who would like to be part of your company or any company as internship?
I think, I think working with an executive recruiter
Okay.
will help. There should be some mentoring. I feel like I do a lot of that
Yes,
on a
you
daily
do.
basis. You know, you literally have to guide them, especially the ones that are right out of college that don't really know what they want to do, but yet, and they're doing waitressing in the meantime. So we kind of talk about their goals, and I try and see what would work best for them in terms of something in the legal field, because there's so many opportunities in legal for everyone. There
And
really
it's,
is.
I'm sorry, and it's okay, I'm sorry for interrupt, but it's okay to spend time working without getting paid because that gives experience, right?
Exactly.
A lot of young professionals are like, I'm not getting in until I don't get paid, but you
Right.
don't have no experience at all.
Exactly.
That's impressive.
Yes, we just have to, I work with clients to see if they will look at someone without experience and mentor those. And that used to happen. It's not happened in the last 3 or 4 years, but I foresee that coming about again, that they will mentor the college grads to become a paralegal or a legal secretary so that they can go into their career for that.
Okay, wonderful interview. Denise, something else you want to share, especially this Thanksgiving, before we go to the commercials?
Well, I think that this is a time, Thanksgiving is to give thanks and to make sure that, be happy that, you know, and appreciative of what we have. And if you are in good health and you you're around good people, you know, and close to family, that is good to give thanks, I think.
Thank you so much. Denise, you're such a great role model. We admire you, and thank you so much for the honor to have me here.
You're so welcome, Claudia. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go. This is Para Comentar.